You know that feeling on Sunday evening? Your stomach tightens, your inbox is overflowing, you've got deadlines you half forgot about, and somewhere in the chaos, there's that project your manager mentioned 3 weeks ago that you haven't touched yet. You're not alone. This is the reality for millions of office workers who manage their lives reactively instead of strategically. Here's what's really happening. You're working hard every single day. You're checking emails, attending meetings, hitting daily tasks, but you're not looking at the bigger picture. You're too close to the trees to see the forest. And because of that, small problems compound. A missed email becomes a misaligned project. A forgotten deadline becomes a damaged relationship with a client. One skipped item becomes 5 overdue tasks. But what if I told you there's one habit that could stop all of this? What if there's one simple practice that's been proven to make every other productivity system actually work? What if this habit takes less than 2 hours a week and could transform how you manage your career and your life? That habit is the weekly review. Now, I'm not talking about just reflecting on your week. I'm not talking about journaling or meditation, though those are great too. I'm talking about a structured, intentional practice that looks at everything you're responsible for, identifies what's working and what's not, and sets you up for unstoppable success in the week ahead. The weekly review is what productivity experts call a meta habit. It's a habit about your habits. It's the system that makes every other system work. Without it, your productivity tools, your to-do list, your best intentions, they all fall apart. But with it, everything aligns. Everything becomes sustainable. And your stress doesn't disappear, but your relationship with it completely changes. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why the weekly review is non-negotiable, how to actually do it in a way that doesn't feel like homework, and how to use modern tools and even AI to make it easier than ever. By the end of this video, you're going to understand why the most successful people in the world do this every single week without fail, and you're going to know exactly how to start. Let me paint you a scenario. It's Monday morning. You get an email from a colleague saying they need feedback on a proposal by Friday. You read it, think I'll get to that later, and move on. You're busy. That task gets buried under 30 other emails and 5 meetings. By Wednesday, you haven't started. By Thursday evening, you're scrambling. You give rushed feedback. The colleague is frustrated because it feels like you weren't engaged. The quality of your feedback suffers because you did it in a panic, and now there's tension in a working relationship that didn't need to exist. This scenario isn't a one-off. It happens all the time. And here's why. Our brains aren't wired to keep track of everything. We're designed to handle our immediate environment. When you have 100 things to remember and no system to organize them, something is always going to slip. And it's never something small. It's the thing that matters most. Without a weekly review, you're running on what's called reactive management. You respond to whatever's loudest, most urgent, or most recent. You're not strategic. You're not intentional. You're a pinball being bounced around by every notification and demand on your attention. And here's the compounding problem. When you're reactive, you make poor decisions. You skip important projects. You miss signals that something's going wrong. You don't see patterns. You don't learn. So next week, the same chaos happens all over again, and the week after that, and the week after that. But the really insidious part is what happens to your confidence and your sense of control. When you're constantly behind, constantly reacting, constantly feeling like you're not keeping up, something inside you starts to break. You doubt yourself. You feel like you're not good at your job. You start working longer hours to compensate, which just makes everything worse because you're more exhausted and less able to think clearly. The weekly review interrupts this cycle. It's the moment you step out of the daily grind and actually look at what's happening. It's where you ask yourself the questions that matter. What did I commit to? What did I actually deliver? What fell through the cracks? Why? What's coming that I haven't prepared for? What patterns am I noticing? This is where modern tools can help. You can use AI-powered task management systems that automatically categorize your tasks by priority and deadline. Tools with artificial intelligence can scan your email and highlight items that might need your attention. They can even predict which tasks are likely to slip based on your past behavior. But here's the thing. No tool can replace the human judgment and intention that you bring to the weekly review. The tool is just there to help you see the landscape more clearly. When you start doing a weekly review, something shifts. You stop feeling like you're drowning. You start feeling like you have control. And here's the scientific part. You actually do have more control, because you're not just reacting to problems, you're anticipating them. You're catching them when they're small and easy to fix before they become emergencies. So how do you actually do this? Let me give you the structure, and then we'll talk about making it sustainable. First is capture. You get everything out of your head and onto a list. Every email you haven't responded to, every task you committed to, every idea you had, every project that's in progress, everything. You're not organizing yet. You're just getting it all out so you can see what you're actually dealing with. Second is look back. You review the past week. What did you accomplish? What didn't you accomplish? And more importantly, why? Did you underestimate how long something would take? Did an unexpected crisis pull you away from your priorities? Did you get distracted? This isn't about judgment, it's about learning. You're looking for patterns. Are you consistently overcommitting on Tuesdays? Are meetings always eating into your focus time? These patterns are gold. Third is evaluate. You assess each item. Is this task still important? Does it still belong on your plate? Or was it something you said yes to in the moment that doesn't actually align with your priorities? This is where you give yourself permission to say no retroactively. Not everything you captured gets carried forward. Fourth is align. You look ahead at the week coming up. What deadlines are coming? What meetings are scheduled? What context do you need? And you ask yourself the hardest question. Given everything I have to do, what are my top 3 priorities for this week? Not what's urgent, what's important, what actually moves the needle. Fifth is revise. You update your systems. You reorganize your to-do list. You schedule time blocks for your priorities. You set expectations with colleagues if needed. You're essentially saying to yourself, this is my plan for the week. This is how I'm going to spend my time intentionally, not reactively. Now let's talk about time. You're thinking, I don't have 2 hours for a review. I can barely keep my head above water. Here's the thing. 2 hours spent reviewing and planning will save you at least 5 hours during the week, because you won't be duplicating effort, chasing your tail, or dealing with preventable crises. Start with 1 hour, 30 minutes to capture and look back. 30 minutes to evaluate and align your week. That's it. As you get better at it, you might want more time, but you don't need it to start. When should you do it? Sunday evening works best for most people. You get your head clear, you know what's coming, and you can sleep better knowing you've got a plan. But if Sunday doesn't work for you, do it Friday afternoon. The key is that you do it before your work week starts, so you're going in with intention. Now let's talk about tools. You can do a weekly review with just a notebook and a pen. Seriously, write down your 5 categories, work through them. Done. But if you want to use technology, there are amazing options. You can use AI-powered note-taking apps that automatically organize your thoughts. You can use project management software that gives you dashboards of everything in progress. You can even use artificial intelligence tools that summarize your emails and meetings so you have a quick recap of what happened. Tools like these can do the heavy lifting of capturing and organizing, so you can spend your time on the real thinking, the evaluation and alignment parts. Some people use a combination. They use AI to help capture and summarize the week. Then they spend their human time on the reflection and planning. That's actually the sweet spot. Let the technology handle the mechanical work, and you handle the strategic work. Here's what happens when you commit to a weekly review. Week 1, it feels awkward. You're doing something new. You might struggle to remember all the things you're responsible for. You might wonder if this is worth your time. Stick with it. Week 2, something shifts. You start to see patterns. You notice that you're actually getting things done that normally fall through the cracks. You feel slightly more organized. Week 3, you start to anticipate problems before they happen. You catch something that would have been a disaster. You feel the power of intention. Week 4 and beyond, this becomes your competitive advantage. While everyone around you is drowning in chaos, firefighting, and reactive management, you're moving forward strategically. You're hitting your deadlines, you're delivering quality work, you're building trust with colleagues because you follow through on commitments. You're sleeping better because you're not carrying anxiety about forgotten tasks. And here's what's really profound. Your relationship with your work changes. You're no longer at the mercy of your inbox. You're not defined by your busiest day. You're defining your week intentionally. You're in control, and that's one of the most powerful feelings you can have. Some of the most successful people in the world do versions of the weekly review. CEOs do it, entrepreneurs do it, high-performing athletes do it, scientists do it. It's not because they have more time than you. It's because they understand that this one habit makes every other system work. It's the foundation. The weekly review is a meta habit because it's a habit about your habits. It's the practice that makes you intentional instead of reactive. It's the system that prevents small problems from becoming big emergencies. It's the moment every week where you step back, look at the whole picture, and make sure you're moving in the direction you actually want to go. So here's my challenge to you. This coming Sunday or Friday afternoon, whichever works better, block off 1 hour, set a timer, get a notebook or open a document. Work through the 5 steps, capture everything, look back on your week, evaluate what matters, align your priorities, revise your systems. That's it. Don't wait until you're drowning. Don't wait until you're exhausted. Don't wait until you've missed something important. Start this week. You're going to feel different. You're going to see things you've been missing. You're going to reclaim control over your time and your life. Go do your first weekly review, and then come back here next week and let me know what changed for you. Because I can promise you, if you commit to this one habit, everything else gets easier. Your future self is going to thank you for this. Now go take action.